This is the TIP Network, where we help you level up through self-improvement with a little sprinkle of sarcasm.
Sprinkle. All right, so what do we have today, Grover?
I have to admit, I've read the comments. I've heard you. We were really rough on Jada in the last video.
I have not read any of the comments. So I don't know what he's talking about, but okay.
You should have been. Why do all of you guys just think that it's all about sex? Jada and Tupac were soulmates. They were connected.
Yo, you did make a comment to me that you thought that most of these people are saying that were youngsters.
Definitely youngsters. I'm 48 years old and I still think this way. I can't help you.
I can't help
you. So here's the deal.
Hey, but thank you for watching the video, though.
Thank you. The video was a great success, but here's the deal. We're going to react now in homage to Aba and Preach.
Homage, I like that one.
Homage to Aba and Preach. Scott and G are super uncomfortably close together on one camera angle. And we're going to react to a clip from the new podcast channel, Aba Verzuz Preach, featuring Andrew Schulz.
Say you don't like other guys your wife, and that's what's causing all the stress and trouble for you. And stop trying to like evolve past it. You know, like you don't like when guys your wife, which is the most relatable thing, right? Like I would not like if guys my wife. I would hate that, dude. I would hate that. And there's one thing that I could do, which would be divorce her so that guys wouldn't my wife anymore.
Because she wouldn't be your wife anymore.
Because she wouldn't be my wife.
Right.
And it's just like, and he's like, you're ready. First of all, the audacity to write like a
but he's been
self-help book when guys your wife. There's just something about people your wife.
Okay. How many times can he say effing your wife?
Your wife.
F your wife. This is going to be live editing just for the audio alone right here.
Yeah. So all right, so let's break it down. All right, so we're going to try to keep it kind of straight, but what's Andrew Schulz saying? Andrew Schulz is saying what literally every man who really found out during the Red Table Talk.
During the entanglement.
It said, listen, apparently Will and Jada have this open relationship. And I mean, if they're getting down outside of their marriage, one way or the other, right? Apparently, it's starting to affect Will Smith. Apparently, the public scrutiny could affect it. And there's one thing to live like that behind closed doors, but it's another thing to live like that out in the open. And to the point where, like, as we all know what happened, it's been repeated a million times that Chris Rock made a benign joke and Will Smith went up and smacked him. Now,
wait. Was it benign because she had alopecia?
Yeah, it's just benign anyway. Okay. I mean, it wasn't a vicious joke. It wasn't like.
Well, he didn't even know.
Yeah. Besides the fact, I mean, I even came to the point that if he knew, like literally, he said, "Can't wait to see you in the movie role." It's not like he said
G.I. Jane is actually a really good movie.
Great movie. It's not like he said
it's a compliment.
If you wasn't bald headed, you get a movie.
Yeah.
It's not like he said that, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, let's move on because everyone's talked about that 1,000 times. But let's talk about just the Will Smith angle of it. And here's the Will Smith angle of it. In my opinion, he puts out a book of his life reflective with every chapter has some type of self-help element.
Wait. This is from the Washington Post. In Will Smith's memoir, the superstar is self-deprecating, but ultimately invincible. But these past couple weeks, he hasn't really been that invincible.
Well, no.
There's some cracks in the armor.
So I just like you have a memoir where you say you're self-deprecating, and every chapter, like, I mean, the person who wrote it with him, it like put something self-help involved in it. It said like, you know, like one of the things was like he was equating popularity with people liking him, and that's not it. And like all of these crazy things that like literally when I was reading it and when I was reading this article, I was.
By the way, Smith's choice of writing partner, Mark Manson, author of the bestseller, The Subtle Art of Not Giving Enough. And that's actually a well-known book on these Instagram and YouTube streets.
Yes. But like when I was reading it, I was like, it kind of reminded me of the article, and some of the stuff they said was like things that you read on Instagram where somebody where like a lady or a guy just broke up and it's like, new year, new me, or like, in these times I'm learning how to appreciate myself and do for myself. I'm building my confidence and all of these crazy things that actually mean that you're jacked up, right? And now Will Smith, who has a memoir, self-deprecating, with elements of self-help. So he's written a self-help book, basically. Even if it's just a third self-help, it's a self-help book, right? And I mean, he wrote that when he needed help himself. And that, to me, is the absolute biggest farce of anything that you can do. I'm not trying to call a guy out and make him feel bad. I'm just trying to say that it kind of feels like a fake it till you make it type of story. What say you?
Well, he's Will Smith. He's a social media person. Well, technically, he's a movie star that does social media, and he's leveraging his brand to make more materials so he can profit off of his brand image. So I understand exactly where he's going, but at the same time, it's like you're writing a book to make it okay with the past, make all the events that has happened the past couple of years to be okay now, that it's fine. In fact, in the book review, he skirted over the fact that Jada Pinkett was having an open marriage. So it seems to me that all these troubles started happening was with the red table talk, and you saw how much power she had in that relationship. So it's also very concerning that she wants this open marriage, and she has the power in the relationship, and it shows that Will Smith seems kind of emasculated to me.
Man, and being emasculated is never a good thing. But you know what a good thing is?
What?
The fact that we now have 2 members of our channel on just the tip, just the tip level. 2 members.
Literally, they're giving just the tip. Just the tip. $1.99 a month. And you can join too if you hit that join button down there.
$1.99 a month. And so that right there is a good part. But it's never good to be emasculated. No. And what happened with Will Smith being emasculated? You just see, like, you know,
emotion. He doesn't have emotional control. He can't have emotional regulation.
Exactly.
Acting out, walking up stage, slapping Chris Rock.
Right. And also, here's the biggest thing. Like, everybody always says like he's protecting his family, but at the time, you don't always protect your family by being aggressive. You don't always protect your family with an overreaction. You protect your family by making the proper choices for your family. And
especially when you're Hollywood royalty.
I mean, and I just want to take it back and look at it and just say, like, 20 years ago, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith were the couple to be. They were a Hollywood power couple. Now, I don't believe that power couples exist, and people always get upset at me.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I believe that power couples do not exist in the way that we think they do. For instance, the Cosby Show, they were a power couple, right? He worked in the basement. He was a gynecologist. Creepy. And creepy. What's it? Creepy. And she was a high-powered lawyer, and I'm thinking, like, well, who's raising the children? Well, their grandparents was always there to help with the kids. But as you know, and I know, that grandparents, they're older, they can give care, but they can't give that stern direction that parents have, mainly because of energy factor. Your grandparents already raised their kids, right? And so that's one of those things that I thought it was great that they lived in this great neighborhood and they had this great life, but I never believed in it because, to me, I never seen actual evidence of it, right? I mean, I needed some anecdotal evidence of it and not just a television show. And like when we looked at them and said they're a power couple and everything's going great, but then we look for it and like she actually slept with her son's friend. So I mean, whether Will was cool with it or not, whether whatever they had going on, I know he wasn't cool with it being out in the open, and that's the situation. So like, I do think that it's absolutely galling, and I think it's the pomposity to write a self-help book when you need help. It wasn't a cry.
You really think he needs help?
Yes. Yeah. Well, he thought he needed help. He checked in and got help.
Okay.
So it's not like I made it up. It's not like he slapped Chris Rock.
So are you saying the fact that Andrew Schulz is saying, "Hey, you shouldn't be. I'm never gonna let anyone f my wife." You think that's the root of all the issues right there?
I think that
it comes down to the base instinct of mate guarding your mate who's had your children and not letting her go and sleep around with the whole, her son's friend.
I think that
and writing a record or producing a record about it too.
I think that people live alternative lifestyles that I don't understand.
Power to you, but
you just give the Black Power sign. I 2 videos in a row, Black Power sign. Great.
But that's power. Like honestly, I don't really care about people's alternative lifestyles. But if it's going to start affecting you mentally and emotionally, and you start acting out like that,
here's the deal: if you're going to be under the spotlight, I think that you probably shouldn't have an alternative lifestyle.
Yeah.
I think that it's a lot to ask a person, a human being, to take.
And put it all out on the red table.
I think it's a lot to ask a human being to take. I think putting it out on the red table is not only a mistake. I think that it's a selfish act on her. She won an Emmy from it. I think that's selfish. And a lot of people, I already hear it already. Well, he didn't have to do it if he didn't want to do it. And then I said, well, does Will Smith, is he acting like a man who is in control of his house? No. He's not acting like a man who's in control of his house.
Well, would you say that he actually was the first? All right, so he's a superstar. He wanted the open marriage first because it's kind of known guys that are at a level of stardom, a level of pay, they are usually the ones that go and find some nookie outside the house.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You think she actually was the one that?
She said she didn't want to marry him.
So it's like that.
She said she didn't want to marry. She said she married him.
So do you think she finagled him into, hey, we're gonna do an open marriage?
I think it got to the point, in my opinion, and I don't know, I'm not there, but I'm just gonna spitball here. I'm just gonna freestyle like the human beatbox for all you folks who gonna call me a boomer. That was some early '80s rap stuff. So anyway, but I'm gonna say this, dude. Like, I think that Will Smith wanted to be with her, and that they were gonna break up, and he just said, you know what, I can love you through anything. He said that on the red
Bad marriage for life.
We ride together, we die together. Bad marriage for life. I'm not going to do that with you.
Why not? That's what they did.
Put your hand down. Jesus Christ. See what I go through? Just look at this. Look at this.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all, we sit here hella uncomfortably close.
Yeah. It's hot in too. Sweat. Start seeing the sweat bead drop down.
Shout out to Aba Verzuz.
And shout out to Andrew Schulz.
Shout out to Andrew Schulz.
He started off social media, and now he's a superstar in his own right.
Yeah. Well, but Andrew Schulz was a stand-up comedian, but he built his platform through social media. Andrew Schulz was the first person that really spoke to me, and I said, wow, I was a fan of his, because he said, listen, I'm going to turn this YouTube into my own television channel. Television's dead. It just doesn't know it yet. We're going to do YouTube. And I remember preaching that, and I remember people saying to me, you're absolutely ridiculous. Nobody's ever not going to have cable. And now more people have cut the cord than whatever from cable, even though they have streaming services like Hulu. But guess what else YouTube has? A streaming service. And so I think Andrew Schulz is right on. So shout out to him.
And the best thing that he could tell us, or to share his knowledge, is don't let anyone F your wife.
Don't let nobody F your wife.
Don't let her F your wife, because it's gonna usher in a whole host of problems for you.
Well, let's just say the truth, right? Let's just say the truth. Like, obviously Will Smith isn't cool with it, and like Andrew Schulz said, the one thing that Will Smith could do is divorce his wife, so people won't F his wife anymore.
Wait. So this actually just got a question. So what if the roles were reversed, where Will Smith slept with his daughter's friend?
Oh, Will Smith.
What would happen?
He would
there?
be canceled.
He
He would be absolutely canceled. 100% canceled.
I'm just curious.
Dude, they try to cancel Leonardo DiCaprio every year for sleeping with somebody in their 20s.
There's a meme where it shows that the girl stays the same age,
and Leo gets older, right?
Yeah,
Leo gets older.
It's like that Days Confused line from Matthew McConaughey. Like,
I get older, they stay the same age. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Dude, so so of course they're gonna get rid of the guy. I mean, they would get rid of the guy if he did that. The only body who I've ever known does some creep stuff like that and survived is Woody Allen. So only body I ever known to do some creep stuff like that. There's probably more, but I mean, that's the only one I've known in the public eye that there was an outcry. But I'm just gonna say this: I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right to exercise that type of especially, like, let's not only just say it was his daughter's friend. Let's say it was daughter's friend who he was helping nurse back from an illness. And they were staying at their family's house. I mean, that's a whole lot of nastiness.
Yeah.
And even if they were on the break, I know, but they were on the break, Grover. Why would you say that? They were on a break from each other. She can do what she wants. It doesn't make a difference. It's her punani. She can spread it all over the world. I say this, right?
She still need to get broken off, though. They're on a break. Jeez.
I say this, right?
All right.
You don't have to screw somebody's your
name all
your kid's friend.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this, but who holds the real? And I'm gonna tell you this: the real victim in this is Chris Rock. He's the real victim, because I don't see videos making a thing like, oh, how Chris Rock handled himself and this and that. It's all been like what Will Smith did, because the bad actors get it, right?
Yeah.
But look, Will Smith holds a whole lot of fault in this because his job was to prevent it from happening. His job was to see it coming and to prevent it from happening. And now I think the only thing Will Smith could do is to walk away. I think he could walk away. But you know what? He's not going to walk away. He's not going to walk away.
Blue-pilled alpha, right?
You know what's going to happen?
What?
She's going to walk away and take half of his shit.
And then shout out to the lead attorney.
Shout out to the lead.
Gave us some game about how his experiences showed him that that's the man, Will Smith there, will not walk away from a marriage. But that woman,
yes,
she'll be the one to initiate the divorce.
The divorce and walk away. And then here's the last thing that I really have about this. Because I know everybody says, you know, well, listen, Grover, if he has $400 million, and then half of it, it's not going to, he'll have $200 million left. Because this is literally and by the way, all the people in the comments saying this stuff, that's how I hear your voice. So when next time I read any comment, I'm going to read it like that, you know. But so let's just say,
hey, no, thank you for leaving the comments though.
Yeah.
If you're going to talk crap, honestly,
we appreciate you.
We enjoy it. We enjoy it.
But you're gonna catch the slander. But we appreciate you. But check out. Well, here's the thing right here, right? With that, right? Let's say he has $400 million. Let's say she takes half. That's $200 million. But guess what? He might have to do. He might have to pay her legal fees. That's 30%. That's 30% of that 200. So going to add another 60 on that. We're gonna add a 60 on it. Ain't gonna happen. Gonna add a 60. So let's say after we add a 60 on that, right? And then he has to pay his lawyer. Let's say his lawyer gets $2 million, $3 million.
He's got to hire the lead attorney though.
Yeah. No, the lead attorney. Lead's gonna ask him if he has a prenup. He's gonna say no. The lead's gonna hang up the phone. Look at that face. Look at that face.
It is like,
let's keep the face right there, lead. We're gonna keep that face right there for you.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. So pick up the phone. Pick up the phone.
Pick up the phone. All right, so that's that, right? So it can come off that after all of that, Will Smith could actually kill them from $400 million to $125 million. It's a lot for a man to lose who's been working his whole life. So I just want you folks to understand it's not exactly that, okay? It's not exactly just half of it. It could be more than half.
And then?
That's all I gotta say.
Oh, that's all you gotta say. Okay, I'm sorry. I got so caught up on bringing up the photos.
All right, so you got any last words before we go on?
Actually, I do. So speaking of them too, you know, like I wish them nothing but the best in their relationship, even though we're making content about them. Like this seems like they got a lot of different issues that they have to resolve and go to marriage counseling.
Can I throw a little
Okay, go ahead.
I hope her hair grows back. All right, go on.
I don't even know how to respond to that one.
Look like a maniacal jack-o'-lantern. Go ahead.
I don't even know how to respond to
you evil person. All right, go on. Corey, go
All right. So alternative lifestyles, cool. If that's the thing that you're into, that's the thing you're into.
Right on.
I don't care. But at the same time, if this is the definition of a power couple, I personally do not want anything from it. Right? I just want my regular woman that loves me for me, and I love her for her.
Yep.
And that we keep each other, I don't know, motivated, staying healthy, fit, mentally right, and helping each other build a life together until we get old. I think that's normal, right?
Yeah.
But this going and sleeping around, and especially sleeping around with your kids' friends.
Yeah. And you know,
they call it Holly weird. I mean, this is what kind of like
Holly weird.
The old generation always tell me, like, the boomer generation, you guys always like to talk about. They usually refer to Hollywood as
Hollywood.
Yeah. And I'm not even trying to be funny, but it's just, you know, and I don't think it's weird, but at the same time, I don't know how it progressed so far that Jada was able to take this much power from Will in their relationship.
Because I don't think Will was ever in a position to hold power. You know, it's funny, at one point, like I remember we were at a jiu-jitsu seminar, right? And this guy says, well, what can you do? Somebody does this, and then we go through all of these what ifs, right? And then finally the professor who's teaching this says, you know what? Kick him. Just sit there and kick him. They said, sometimes you just got to be a man. You just got to be a man and get it done. And you know what? Sometimes Will just has to be a man and get it done. I'm not saying he should kick her, but I'm saying he should put his foot down and be a man and get it done. And if he's not going to do that, then he needs to get out. He needs to get out because that man can have anybody he wants. And so it's his fault. And how dare you write a self-help book? Put up that picture right quick. How dare you write a self-help book when you looking like this?
Uh-huh. Who will love me? Well, this is the lead attorney's thumbnail. Hey, great thumbnail, Lee.
Yeah, I know. Fire thumbnail. All right, so I want to say one last thing. Do you have something else?
I do. I'm gonna start pitching. So
Yo,
yeah. Okay, go ahead. You start pitching.
So I was gonna say, as always,
all right,
like and subscribe.
All right, you're closing it out.
Yeah, but we're gonna pitch it.
Okay.
So like and subscribe on YouTube, and also
let me put the little button here first.
Oh, hold on.
Put it right there. You see
Bam,
that? From StreamYard.
See that? Bam. So like and subscribe on YouTube, but also we have something else. You can follow us at Patreon.
Yes.
At the TIP Network. The
Bottom
TIP
right.
Network, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
Yep,
You're doing that right
Just
there,
like
like
that.
right there. And we're gonna have a lot of great things for our patrons. Yes, we are building it. Get in on the ground level. The folks who get in on the ground level, you're gonna have access to things that folks are gonna have to pay for more in the future. So get in on the ground level. It's okay to be early.
And we'll be creating a lot of content on Patreon and the YouTube memberships. It'll be still in development, so maybe I'm getting far ahead of myself, but there will be content with the Patreon.
Yes.
And if you don't want to leave to go over the Patreon, you can hit the join button, or you can do Patreon and join button, because we're capitalists like that.
Double up on it.
Double up on that. And for $1.99, you can be joined just a tip. And did we shout out? We didn't shout out DM, did we?
We didn't shout out DM.
Lisa Blossy Cakes Redfield.
So let's shout out DM.
Period.
D period M period.
Okay.
And Liza.
Lisa.
Bossy Cakes Redfield. Our first 2 members.
Thank you for joining. Joining
so much.
Just a Tip.
Just a tip, and we'll have some really special things coming up for you folks. I'm dedicated to always for the members, at least having a live stream Q&A for where they can ask me anything or any experience. I'll be happy to give advice and or make fun of myself. So there we go.
All right, and then one last thing, and we've mentioned before that we're doing everything on StreamYard. So StreamYard, there's an in-app recorder or software recorder. You can bring up these banners here. You can bring on guests to your show, guests from the chat to be on your show, but you got to put up the Caduceus shield just in case people start pulling out their wing and doing all sorts of nastiness.
We do not want you to hang out with the wing out.
But StreamYard is great, especially if you purchase their subscription plan. You can broadcast to Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube at the same time and have 10 people in the room. So StreamYard, if you use our link right here, actually, this is a description telling you to go into the description, and you'll get $10 in credit when using our link in the description.
Yes.
And so for all the content creators there, go and get that deal.
That's right. That's right. Let me tell you something. StreamYard is revolutionary as far as how you're able to grow your content, create a community, and actually bring people up and really make content that gives value to your audience because they can be a part of it. And that's a game changer. All right, folks, thanks for rocking with us. And as always, I want you to ask yourself one burning question.
What question is that?
Can you handle the tip?
Yep, we're going all in.
Boom, booty in your face.
But some people just pull out, all right?
Always, huh? It's always something just filthy.
My sound, slaughter every sound.